Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, welcome to the show, folks.
I'm saying hey, hey to people on here as you coming on and say hey, hey, hey,
Get
hey.
this thing around. There we go.
What's up? Oh man, this is good. Mindset ready, grow. Here we are, another day. We
Here
can
we go.
show the seeds that came through the ground. Man, welcome, man. Welcome everybody. We got nice little what I haven't understood is how come StreamYard don't show the real truth. Like we have more people on my LinkedIn here and it's not showing here. So we got people Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Welcome to Mindset Ready Grow. What up, Joshua?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I always feel good when we get an opportunity to put some seeds out there.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah,
some good stuff today, right? From
man.
habit to automatic. I mean, just talking about how to take habits and make it to and bringing that into even your business and automation of your processes of life, automations of your business.
Yeah,
And that's what it needs to be, right? Just
yeah.
we're not gonna get I'm not gonna get too deep until let you go ahead and reveal the secrets and the nibbits, but yeah.
That's it, man. What's up, Siobhan? And Siobhan knows a lot about that. We actually partnered together on Lisa Nichols' Let's Grow movement. She's a coach that knows a lot about what we're going to talk about today. Habits to automatic, and building. So it's interesting about this habit thing, man. It's interesting how habits work. You know, I think once people have a better understanding of how habits work, they'll make better ones.
Yeah.
Pretty
What
pretty simple with that. Like if you once you understand something, it's like you can't ununderstand it. You know what I mean?
yeah. You can only evolve it. That's what it is. You
That's it.
evolve it.
That's
Each
it.
step is a step towards the next step towards the next step. It's like you never reach that destination because there's always evolution.
Mm-hmm. Every day, man. And so what if we start with the most important thing and think about our thoughts are the steering wheel for our life. Wherever our thoughts are going steering us, that is the trajectory of where we're going in our marriage, in our life, in our business, in our community, wherever, you know. And the thing about habits is that they're happening. We don't know they're happening.
Yeah.
Habits are caught and ruled by our subconscious. Our subconscious is 90% of our activity. 90% of everything we do is subconscious, meaning we're doing it, we don't know we're doing it. And 90% of that stuff is the same stuff. So I'm gonna say it again. 90% of the stuff we do is the same stuff, and we don't even know we're doing it. Those are habits. That's automatic. And this is why habits and automation, when I teach habits and automation, the business and life, it's very parallel. You
Hmm.
build the right habits into your organization, you have better outcome. Build the right habits into your life, you have better outcome. And so, what do we do though? Okay, so what? So we now we know 90% of the things we do are the same things in this, and 90% of the things we do, we don't even know we're doing it. What do we do? Well, we take control of the 10% we do have control over.
Yeah.
What you'll find is the moment you get in the driver's seat of that 10%, it moves the whole. The subconscious is only pulling from what the conscious is telling it. The problem is we haven't been conscious enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know, so I mean, this is a story that it's the human condition. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly growing. So what do? Get around people that are doing the things you should be doing. Right? You start to look at what you want to become and surround yourself with that. Right? Well, one of the things in business we find out people want to, what we do with Scale Through Automation is we help businesses, the mundane, repetitive things that they're doing, any robotic activity people are doing, we take it from them and we allow them to start focusing on more value added activity, which is improves their well being and the company. Right. But you can't automate a broken process. So if people are doing things wrong, we don't come along and automate it. what we do is we assess what we're doing and what they're doing, just like you do in your life. Assess, make an assessment, reflect, then make an adjustment, course correction. The same thing we do with the companies. Now start to modify and adjust the process, and then we automate it. And then you automate it. So for a person, you focus, set the right criteria, and you do this on a regular basis, it becomes automatic. You make the habit by doing the thing.
No, that's good. Yeah, you got to practice it in order for it to be conditioned and become automatic. It's like what we talked about in our first show. We were talking about let me see if we have that here. Renew your mind daily. That's what it was. Renew your mind daily. Learn something new each day and practice today what you learned yesterday. That's the practice of the habit of the automation. It's something that's new data that's put into place. A lot of folks are dealing with that now. Every day, you know, there's new challenges in technology. I know my mother is still alive. She's getting older, and she struggles sometimes with things and how to use her phone and do stuff. I try to get her on. She doesn't have an iPhone, which I do. So we try to do a voice chat or video chat, I mean. And it was complicated. So I said, you know, I'm just going to send you a link to Google Meet. You got a Gmail account. It's going to pop up real easy. It's a 30-minute process. You know, for you and I, it's just click the link. It works. And it's not working. And can you do this? And I sent her the code. But see, now that she's done it once, she'll do it a second time and the third. And then she's going to send that to somebody else and say, hey, I'm a pro at this. But it takes that first day of learning something new, practicing it a day and a day and a day again. And then it becomes a part of your Rolodex, a part of your automated catalog.
Yeah. Repetition. That's good, man.
Yeah.
Repetition is the mother of mastery. Repetition is the mother of mastery. Bruce Lee said, what he said, I don't fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. I said, shut the front door. Dude, that's like practice, repetition, because you do it so often. And what are we getting to? Put the right principles in place for your life. Maybe you're not hitting the mark because you just don't have it set the right trajectory for the right coordinates. You know?
You know, they say that it takes 21 days to create a habit. And it's like, you know, doing that every day, having the mind state of knowing I'm going to do the same thing again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. All of that stuff feeds into today. I'm planning already for what's happening on day 20, day 19, day 18. The energy for all that is already composed in me today. So when I take that step today, I'm really taking the step that's on day 19 and day 20. If I'm really committed to that process, I have to have enough strength to make the momentum go through to that time. But once I do, all that energy I built up now, see that weight, it's a lot of weight. That's why I need a lot of energy, because it's like all of this right now. I got 21 days on me. By the time you get to day 16 and 17, them days start falling off. And the automation picks up, and it seems easier to do because no longer is it the thought of, I got to do this for 21 days.
Yeah.
I got to do this for 752 hours, or you know, whatever that math is, you know, right? It's like, it's a difference there, right? Because now it's like less to think about. It just does it. You don't think about eating. You just do it. You're hungry. You get some food. You eat it. You know how to put the fork to the mouth. It just works. But I have a 1-year-old. That kid gets it everywhere. He's constantly missing his mouth. Why? He needs practice. He needs to turn that into automation. But we see that when we have automation and it's implemented properly, then things function better. So that's why we want to be more tuned in and honed in on how you can turn habits into automatic so you function better.
Function better, buddy.
Yeah.
We're talking about functionality now, okay? That's a real important component here. You know, speaking of functioning better, you know, there's a trend right now that most people on the planet don't know about, which is very interesting because it's the biggest business technology trend around to date. As a matter of fact, this technology is impacting more than any other software in the software industry. Like this is RPA, what we're talking about, this business automation it's called robotic process automation. It's essentially business automation. But this particular technology of automating has accelerated. I'm talking about so much so that all those from Gartner to anyone else who does the research on this type of information, They state that all organizations over the next few years, over 50% of all organizations will have some type of RPA implementation. Again, RPA is robotic process automation. It's just business automation. And they're saying that over half of every organization will have this thing, right? Currently, less than 2% of the small and medium-sized business market, they don't even know it exists. So right now, there's a technology called RPA. It's impacting more businesses across more industries than any other business technology, right? It's spiking higher than any other technology has ever done, and it's going and it's moving faster, and it's doubling every year, doubling. At the same time, less than 2% of small and medium-sized businesses even know it exists. So we're at the beginning. It's like the beginning of Google. Just imagine when Google first came out, someone would say to you, "Hey, you ever heard of Google? Like, what the heck is Google? Like, what is that?" But you know what it is now. That's what this is. And it's going to impact bigger than Google, because if people don't have this, they won't be in business. And if they have it, they'll be able to stay in. Point is this. This technology, the essence of it is automation. Automation was already necessary once we move into the information age. But now, because of COVID, we are in the digital transformation era, meaning everything was accelerated to digital. So much so that about a year ago, Twitter's CEO came on and said, "Hey, anybody working for Twitter, we announced they can work from home forever." Like, boom, like that. I mean, things are changing. So automation is big, not just in business, but in your life. And the thing about your life is you need to understand what you're doing. Because if you don't understand what you're doing, then you're going to be doing things you don't know that you're doing. I know that sounds weird, but then that's how you wind up in frustration. So how do you control that? Again, I'm going to go back to it a lot. Take control of the 10%. The 10% controls the whole. Your conscious mind controls the subconscious. In your business, take control of your 10%. That's your conscious decisions. Once you make a decision and it's up in the company, it's gone. But you got a choice to make on the front end.
Yeah, that's really good stuff too, what you just said. I think that if we understand the importance of automation as far as like in our day-to-day, how we implement that already, just getting dressed, just washing your face and things, like it's a process, brushing your teeth, this is what I do before I start my day, but you didn't come out the womb like that. You had to be trained and so on and forth. And that's what this is for your business. It's training certain processes so that it can navigate without the input for a human interface. That frees you up to have more time to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens too. It might have took you an hour to get ready when you were a child. Now you can do that same process in half an hour and maybe down to 15 minutes. The longer you practice it, the better you get at it. And so we create subroutines in our day-to-day where what we do is we compound those things. We think it's being more efficient, where we're like, brushing our teeth and having our coffee in the car on the way to work. We're at the stoplight brushing, spit out the window. If you're late, you find a way to get it in compressed time. Well, that's the same thing that we can do with this automation software, is it finds ways to move data quicker and faster. Our computers are already doing that. If you guys are any technology buffs out there, man, if you can see my computer sitting over here, it's kind of a beast. And what they do is, there's a process now where the information would come to the CPU, the CPU pull it off the hard drive, and then it goes cache into the RAM and maybe go through there and cache into the GPU or whatever. And now they're saying, hey, we can take information straight from the hard drive, straight process through the GPU. We're bypassing the bottlenecks in the CPU and the RAM to get it to the data faster, so we can make sure that we don't drop any frames or whatever and things. So it's about simplification, right? How do we get data moving from one place to the next without all these different turns in the pipeline? So it's a straight filter through. That's what we do in our day-to-day life right now. We're always trying to find ways to streamline and make things easier. Rather, if it's how can we make the day shorter so we can have more free time and compress our workload or whatever we're doing. And so we should look at that when we're talking about how we're operating our businesses. A lot of folks watching this have some sort of a business, whether it's web designing or you're doing some kind of service as far as consultations or things. You're going to have some kind of connectivity to technology nowadays. You're walking around with an iPad, a laptop, or something. Business is conducted through wires and transistors today, and it's conducted through the internet. And so all those different components that are part of that to make your business work and function, we need to figure out a way of scaling that, reducing that process in some way, and not necessarily taking things out, but just saying, how can we get it from A to B to C all the way down to Z as quick as possible? And we talked about Bitcoins and stuff last week, coins and things. And one of the biggest obstacles is moving that money from here to there because of the length and the processing of the ledgers and the data. It has to be transmitted. Even though it's still just a matter of minutes, it's still a matter of minutes. We want to get it down to a matter of seconds. So when I hit button send, you see it on your phone or wherever you're at, and it says receive. So there's a lot of coins that are created, a lot of tokens that are made that do that, to compress that data, to transfer that faster. It's very important in business to be quick, to be fast, to be first. And so this process is going to help whatever business that you're in, whatever service you're providing, to do those things as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let Rob talk more about that in a second. Let's take a quick break. We want to remind everybody to invite folks to this stream. We're going to be really digging deep and getting into some really good stuff. I think it's things, excuse me, it's going to change your mind, not about just your business, but even about how you might operate day to day, even how you might run your family. When we talk about how important automation and adjusting those things and creating habit to automatic. So invite some friends, share the links out. And we'll be right back after this quick break. You guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back. We're back, folks. And I think Rob, his camera froze. We're talking about habits and automations, how to take it from habit to automatic, how to take it from routine and trying to train yourself to do a task or a certain have a certain posture to doing things automatically. And before we took a break, we were talking about how to employ that in your life, but also how to employ that in your business. There's a new system, a new way of doing things that's taking the world by storm. It's called RPA. Rob's going to talk more about that and get you guys squared away for your business. And then we'll talk more about how to implement automation into your day-to-day life and into your family life.
Yeah, man. You know, here's the deal. It's called business automation, and you need to learn about it, how it works in your industry. Don't go buy software. Do not go out and just start buying things. One of the worst things you can do is just try to start implementing things without gaining a real understanding. You know, that's like,
well, why is that? Yeah, tell me, why is that? Like, if I just bought something, what's the dangers that I might face?
Well, the dangers are a couple of things. One, misuse of the actual item, of the service, or the product, and the misusing of it can cause a variety of factors, from ineffectiveness, inefficiency, you know, basically inefficiency in multiple areas. And so we don't need a list. You don't need 100 reasons why it won't work. You just need one, you know. And so, yeah. I heard a comedian say that one day. You know, man, he said you don't need 100 reasons why I can't. I only need one reason. You're like, you don't need to stack a list. So what you do, you want to make 100 reasons why it will work, you know. And so, yeah, go back to our original question.
The original question?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, so there was a question on here. Let me see here. Somebody asked me about. Well, hopefully this covers. I don't want to lose my point trying to find it. It's one of the main things you want to do is get educated. Just get educated. It doesn't take long. Literally, it will take you half hour, and you'll go from 0 to 65. Because what you need to understand more than anything is your own process. You got to understand what you're doing. Like, before we even help anybody, fill out a questionnaire, and that questionnaire allows us to understand exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then based off that assessment, we can create a diagram, a design, when showing them. And then also we have an ROI calculator, which then allows them to see what they're going to be saving hours and money. So, but that's all drawn out. We can't get to that end part, showing them that, until they provided the front end. And the front end has to be thought out and be accurate. And so, see, that's a process. Yeah. If you follow the process, you're going to be accurate. If you don't, the accuracy drops tremendously. It's like an NFL kicker kicking a 20-yard field goal and an NFL kicker kicking a 70-yard field goal. No, take that back. it's a difference between a NFL kicker kicking a 20-yard field goal, easy, or an NFL kicker kicking a 55-yard field goal in the gusting winds. So it might work.
It might, if you're lucky.
Maybe.
Right. But you got to do a lot more calculations than just kicking that easy 20 field goal in a dry day. You know, who wants to do all that extra thought process and trying to maybe hit the target? Let's make it easy. Let's make it quick, and let's make sure you hit the target. That's where it's at.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me close the window. These kids having fun out here.
Yeah, I know that's right.
They're having a blast. But that's pretty much that on that, man. What's your thoughts?
No, I agree. You know, I like anything that makes my life easier. I like anything that makes my business perform better. And I think that this service is something that could do that. And, you know, even in our day-to-day life, you know, I think it's important for us to find ways to, for me, you know, I have a wife, I have kids, I have businesses and things. So trying to find time for everything is kind of challenging. You know, right now it's 1 o'clock or like a little after 1. My kids are running around, they're doing what they do. My wife is trying to maintain her work schedule and do what she has to do. All while I'm in here in a quiet space. You know how hard that is to create a quiet space for this while all that's going on outside? It's very challenging, but we have to figure out ways of condensing and comprising and making things function at a higher level. And that's what automation does. Automation will help you to function at a higher level, and it will increase productivity. So I'm able to be productive. She's able to be productive, and the kids are actually being productive. And how we done that is it's school time right now. So they have to sit and read, and they have to do things and activities that are going to function. And they have a time limit. And when they're done, they have to present those to us. So they think they're doing school time right now. They don't know they're being distracted. So mommy and daddy can do what they do.
Yeah.
Part of our automation and our processing, right? We took it to a different level and changed some things up.
Environment, man. Environment is everything. Is everything. Set that environment up. You know.
That's it. Set your environment up. Tell us about the environment with this here, with scaling and automation. Tell us about what type of environment would that be?
So your environment will be the people and the culture, really. You know, the people who are the people and the culture within the people. And then typically the culture comes from the organization setting that up. And so that's your environment. You know, people who are running the processes, the day-to-day operations, and the culture that they are currently in. And so, you know, what we do when we work with a company, like there's 3 things to understand. And it's three components to this process. It's people, the process, and automation. It's three levels: the people, the process, and automation. And we always look at it that way: people first, then the process, then the automation. So what does that mean? People. That's your environment. Those are the folks who are running it. Those are the hearts and minds that are involved. So to take care of them. We take care of these. We take care of this. Primary component right here, this will start happening. This will happen much easier, we'll say, because these are the ones who are running it. And if these people if they're happy and they're feeling good, and they're feeling fired up, and they're part of the, unfortunately right now, only 20% of folks score the jobs they love. But let's say that expands. If you got those folks who love their job, and then you got processes that are in place, standardized processes. When I say standardized, that means if you have a process, there's a beginning and there's an end point, right? Standardized means that it is set and is stationary, meaning it doesn't matter who shows up to work, who pushes what button, who sends what application. It happens the same way every time. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that, repetition again. Repetition is the mother of mastery. And of course, when you have a process, you want it to be mastered. So people, the process, and the technology. So once you get the people in place, take care of them, get your processes standardized. Now, here we go, baby. Here it is. Automation, the technology. And once you put that in and you streamline what's working, come on, man. Once we do that, whenever you do that, you accelerate your progress, you optimize your possibilities and opportunities, you maximize your potential. Man, those are all phrases that I like.
Absolutely, right. Productivity and potential. You know, I would say this, you know, so let's say I have a what's a very common, okay, let's say I do like postal right? I do like a shipment cut. A lot of people I know nowadays are starting their own delivery service for Amazon. If you don't know, you could do that. You can go buy you a truck, 30,
Yeah.
40,000,
Yep.
and sign up to do deliveries for Amazon. They'll put their logo on the back. They pay you pretty good. And you work at like 4 a.m. until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. You're done. You got your day. It's good pay. So let's say I have a service like that. How can I implement what you do, with the service you offer? How could I make that more of a thing for my company?
So where RPA comes into being the greatest leverage is if you have any type of data processing, any type of rule-based activity, any type of repetitive, actions that have to be taken, right? It's whatever that is. So maybe that's in communications, invoicing, whatever it may be. Each business is different completely. Everything is customized specifically to. But in that regard, it's probably a lot of communication from customers and servicing. Is probably a whole lot that's happening, and it's probably a lot that's repetitive. And depending on the volume of activity, it's also about the volume. If you don't have, you're not doing much. RPA you don't need it. You can do it, but when you got a lot to do, the more you have to do, the more beautiful it becomes. And we have a law firm, man. A law firm, just 3 employees. Yeah. One is the lawyer, right? And less than a few weeks, saving them 40 hours a week, 1,000 hours a year.
Right. That's enough to hire an additional staff person, which might increase productivity, right?
Increase productivity.
And even that stuff with the input or the output they're distributing as far as processing and the new staff member, they're going to make data. They're going to make paperwork. They're going to do things, which then also gets compressed by this automation. So it gets beneficial even more. It's sequential and it's compounding. Last week, we talked about the greatest force in the universe is compounding interest, a compounding factor. We talk about money and using that in this example of what you just said here, Rob. If I have, that's why when we do investments, we only talk about percentages, because if I put $100 in and the stock goes up and I make $1, I made $1. Or let's say I made $10. I made 10%. I made $10. Who cares that I made $10 today? But if that was $100,000, I made $10,000. If that was $1 million, I made $100,000. And we get tricked because we think, I made $100,000. No, but you only did 10%. And so it's very key that we look at that, because it's volume, it seems like it's more, but it's still at the same time, it's just that simple 10%.
Yeah.
So, and what you're doing, you're talking about, the more stuff you have, the greater the advantage it's going to have, because it's going to be able to compound that interest. It's going to be able to bring that factoring in. So in my example of the money, instead of making 10%, now as that 100,000 is there, instead of that $100, it could look like something more like, instead of 10,000, it might be 15,000, because it's able to pull out even more per every dollar. And that's where we want to make sure that people understand, like, the increase of what you're going to gain from a process like this in your business. And we're going to talk more about how you can even bring this down to not necessarily the service, but bringing automation into your life, into your household, because we want to shift people's mindsets.
Yeah.
And make sure they understand that, we want to make sure that you use these processes that we're showing here to help alleviate what the burden of your business or your job is doing, so you can be more productive. But that productivity should not be that you work more or work harder. It should be that you work less and work easier, so that you can come home less stressed. You can have a better state of mind, a better state of being, so you can be a better husband, a better wife, a better parent, a better brother or sister. You need to be better for your community and those that are connected to you. We often think about our community as what's outside. When we drive down the street, have a community rec center, a community park, or community pool. But the community is the people who are around you. And it first starts with the community that's inside your home.
Yep.
And then it goes beyond your family, that's your core family, to more of a nuclear family with grandma and grandpa and aunt and uncle and so on and so forth. That's still your core community. Who are you talking to every day? And so automating those things, and it's sometimes hard for me to call mom. I'm too busy. She's got her life, I got my life. But I know she looks forward to it when I call her. So instead of making it a habit of saying I'm going to call her every Sunday, I need to transition that to automatic, to where I'm looking forward to saying, hey, I'm going to call my mom today. I'm going to call my mom. Calling her is an automatic process. And that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yep.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, that's good, man. That's good. It's good, man.
So let's do this. We want to make sure you guys are having an opportunity to ask any questions. Make sure you put your feedback in the comments. If you're watching this on the rebroadcast, you guys can still ask questions on this show. You can email us at mindsetreadygrow@gmail.com. Do I have that in a thing already? Do we have that banner?
No, let me see.
We don't. I'm going to make that banner real quick. Let me just put this on the screen, guys. Mind set ready grow at. All right, folks. Yeah, if you guys want to have any questions about this stuff, we'll gladly answer those coming up in the next show. And if you're watching us on the broadcast, you can also follow us on social media. So we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. All of them are Mindset Ready Grow, except for Twitter. It's Grow without the W. They just won't let me put the W. It's too many characters. But Mindset Ready Grow. You can find us on all these social media. So follow us there. Send us emails if you have any questions or even requests of things you want us to talk about in the show. This show is about shifting a mindset to get you ready to take on life in your personal life, in your business life, in your spiritual life, wherever you have to navigate, wherever your vessel goes to. We want to give you the tools to be better equipped for handling those things, navigating them for greater peace, greater productivity, and greater enjoyment of life as a whole. I love my life. I hope you live your life. Rob, you live your life?
Dude, I love my life, man.
I love my life. Absolutely. And it's not people who don't love it. They can't stand it. Some people feel like they want to end it. That's never the answer. That's never the answer, because tomorrow you never know what's going to happen. You know, one day ago, this guy was broke. Today, he bought a lottery ticket. Tomorrow, he's worth $50 million. That quick, his life changed. Not saying money is the answer, but
yeah,
there's a big change in his life, you know?
Yeah.
So don't ever underestimate what tomorrow can bring.
Don't ever estimate what tomorrow can bring.
Just a week ago, right? Things change in 7 days. Remember that song Jay-Z said, funny what? 7 days can change, right? 7 days can change a lot. But we're going to take a quick break, folks. And remember, if you have any questions, if you don't get them in on the live broadcast, be sure to email us at mindsetreadygrow@gmail.com. We're going to be right back. Thanks for watching this. And make sure you share this link out. There's still more to come. So stay with us. Welcome back, folks. You know me. I'm Joshua Christos, and joining me is Rob House. We are co-host of this show, Mindset Ready Grow. It's a fantastic show. It's taking off. People are loving it. We get a lot of feedback throughout the week, and I'm really grateful for the people who do give us feedback and talk about how this show has helped them. We know that it's hopefully helping you as well today, and we have a back catalog if you guys want to look, and you can go back into our Facebook, again, YouTube, and Twitch, and see our broadcast from weeks past and check those out. Today we're talking about our mindset is habit to automatic, and we're talking about how we can increase productivity in our personal life, but also in our business. And Rob House is going to show us this really crazy, incredible tool of how we can automate our business functionality. We're going to go into that now. He's going to show us a little presentation. You guys want to make sure you check this out. Before he starts that, though, again, if you have anybody that you know has a business that may be wanting to increase their productivity or have a little bit more time at home or just make a little bit more money, which I'm sure we all want to do, they're going to want to check this out. So either share the link now or share the recast so they can see this process and get more information and get tuned in. We're trying to help shift the mindset of the world. So check it out. Go ahead, Mr. House. Show us what's going on.
More done by using less effort. What if you could eliminate all the mundane? What if there was a way to get more done by using less effort? What if you could eliminate all the mundane, tedious, repetitive daily tasks off your plate? What if you could have more time to do the things you want to do, like customer engagement, branding, and spending more time with those who are important to you, like your team, your friends, and your family? Well, you can, and RPA can do that for you. RPA, Robotic Process Automation, is a technology that is literally transforming businesses overnight, giving you and your staff more time to do more meaningful things. The STA Group will show you how this can be done in less than 30 days and taking less than 5 hours of your time in the process. In that 30 days, you will learn how to identify all the places of your business that can be automated, and the STA Group will show you how. From conversation to activation in less than 30 days. You will only find that right here. You will be ahead of your competition and you will give your business the opportunity to grow once you learn how to scale through automation. Contact us today for a free 30-minute discovery evaluation and we'll show you how to transform your business overnight.
Woohoo! Overnight.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's real stuff, man. Overnight, because it's just like that. It's just that simple. The moment you set something up the right way and automate it, you move into ROI, which is return on investment. It immediately begins. And that's why this thing is so revolutionary. One thing is RPA has been around for a couple of decades, actually. Like enterprise companies have been using this type of thing forever. The problem was it was expensive. You need to have an engineer. That's $180K bare minimum, and you need a couple of them jokers. So most businesses never had it. Now, in this era of dematerialization, and things becoming more accessible, here we go. So now this technology that enterprise and big businesses could only have, now mom and pops who only got 3 employees can take it and accelerate and catch up, and they can do it in less than 30 days, in less than 5. That 30 days and 5 hours of their time that's not like some kind of gimmick. It's just that simple. Like, we're very clear and specific on the questions we ask, which gets the answers we need to design the solution that's necessary, implement. That's it. And refine. You're always in refining, reviewing, always reviewing, because then you begin to build make the process better, all that good stuff, man. So,
no, that's really good. What's coming to, my brain works, man, as I'm listening, I'm thinking, and what's come to me is this, so I personally haven't seen it, but I watch movies and things, and I guess maybe if you go, visit like Europe or somewhere, you can see the evidence of it, but where houses used to be made, and it's basically like clay. They just kind of put some dirt up, some water, mix it together. They made clay and they made houses. And that was the standard for a long time. And imagine back then you were looking for a good builder, what that might have been like, right? And now our houses are made of fiberglass and wood and all these different other materials. And, that's kind of the norm. Well, the next phase of that is where it's 3D printed and it's still using materials like clay and concrete and back to these basics. And they kind of look like those same kind of mud huts or something you see on Tatooine out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's the future. But those things are more efficient, more energy efficient, more cost efficient, all these different things, and more flexible. You can do anything you want to do and no longer have to live literally in a box. We're so much in a box. Our houses are boxes, our rooms are squares.
Our house is a box. Our rooms are a box. We talk into a box. We watch a box. We're looking at a box. We're in a box right now.
Stuck in boxes.
Sometimes we drink a cylinder.
But automation, right? Automation is also is a contributory to evolution.
True.
Into evolving, because the houses that were built, they said, wait a second, we've been doing this a lot. Let's find a new way of doing this. Right. So the automation, once they got it down, they have free time to be creative, to think of a new way to do it. So we see houses evolve over time. Right.
Yeah.
One place that's really stagnant is clothing, because it is what it is. Nobody's really they changed up the colors, they changed a little bit here, but nothing's really drastically changed. But think about this, let's say 2,000 years ago, based on a Jesus film or something, people were wearing these like cloths, these togas and things.
Yeah. And
now we got, Gore-Tex and all this other stuff. So materials have changed, but automation empowers us to have freedom and creativity to evolve, to do new things, to go into the future. So when you're looking at this product that he's talking about, yes, it could benefit your business, but think about what it's going to afford your business, both in time and resources, to be able to create new pathways of doing things. And then throwing that back into the automation machine to say, hey, let's condense that, comprise it, and make it even more efficient. It's kind of a game changer if you really think about it. And what he said was key too, folks, is that before this has been around, but it was to really expensive companies, with teams of engineers and stuff. Now, the way that has moved and fluctuated, and we have different code methods and wrappers and things where we can compress things really easily and just kind of take pieces of code here and here, make them work together, and then sample that over your processes. Now it's easy to deploy. They've automated automation.
Yep.
They've evolved automation to the point to where now it's easily distributed to everybody. So you can take advantage of that too. That's a really good thing. Rob, I'm gonna let him say more about that. And then after that, we're going to shift gears, folks. So stay tuned as we're going to talk more about automation in the household. But let's hear more about RPA.
So where do we start off with this, man? Where do we kick off?
With RPA?
Yeah.
We started with, seeing it, having the mind state of the possibilities of being open to that, that habit and transformation of what they could do.
Right. And so once we get it in place, once the RPA is in place, what happens is 99.999% of the time, more automation is put in place. They're called digital robots. RPA, each software component is called a digital employee. And so that's what we call them, because essentially it's what it does. And once you get one, RPA equals digital employee. Once you get one, you then automatically get another, because then you start to see how this works. Mm-hmm. And that, like life again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's interesting, If you want to stop smoking so much, stop drinking a little bit. It's like how you do one thing is how you do anything. But once you get it implemented and you put the digital employee in there, next thing you know, you start to see where you can start to streamline other processes. You begin to fix and modify and configure your organization. You begin to optimize it naturally, because now you understand. And again, the key to life is understanding. Yeah. The key to life is understanding. The reason for just about all of our problems is a lack of understanding.
And all you're getting, get understanding, right? That's a great.
And all you're getting, and all you're getting, there's a wonderful scripture, and it talks about understanding, knowledge, and wisdom in a house, and something like a house is built upon wisdom, and its rooms. Okay, don't even try and do it. Forget it. Don't you do that. But it's wisdom. It's wisdom and understanding and knowledge, and those are the three main components. It's wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. And you think wisdom is the proper application of the knowledge.
Yeah.
So you got wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Those three things. So wisdom says, be still long enough to make the assessment. Understanding comes from you then taking an intake of all the information. That becomes knowledge now. And that knowledge, if it sits the right way, now you're gaining understanding. The more you review that, now that turns into wisdom.
Yeah, now, knowledge. Get the knowledge, like, oh, hey, I like introduce you. Hey, I know this guy. We got introduced, but I don't really have an understanding of you until I spend time and we cultivate that, and it grows. Now I have an understanding of who you are, but then later it grows into this place where I have wisdom to say, I know how I can approach this person, or if they're in a bad situation, I can pull them out. That's the wisdom. It takes time. It takes seasoning.
Yes.
And so right now you're teaching these digital employees, first thing they do, they get knowledge of your business, but over time they're going to really get understanding. And as the time goes on, RPA as a whole and STA, will start to perfect that process. And that's why you get a second and a third. And think about this, folks. We hear a lot about robots taking jobs. Well, these are robots that will never take your job, because they require human interaction and human interface to deploy them and to make sure they're doing what they need to do. And you still have a component that has to be there. So your staff is still there, but now instead of that employee doing, from A to G in a week's worth of work, because of the assistance of the employee, the digital employee, they can get all the way to A to Z. Yep. Comprised and done more work in a short amount of time. So now we're saving man hours. You don't have to pay that person for 2 weeks worth of work. They did it all in 1 week. So now they could be more productive, and so on and forth. And it might free you up to hire even more staff, which then might also in turn get you another digital employee, which triples and doubles the workflow. This is how this process works. So whatever job or whatever business you're doing, I mean, man, even if you have this if you're working as an employee and you know the process you do every day, it doesn't hurt to bring this to a manager or a supervisor or somebody and say, hey, I seen this program and they were talking about this RPA stuff and how it can help. Would you guys check this out? You never know what door might open for you. They might say, hey, we don't know much about it. Since you do, we want to put you in charge of this thing. You got a promotion because you brought it to their company. Anytime you sow a seed that's going to help and benefit others, there should always be some sort of fruit for you to eat as well. So those of you that are watching and even on the recast, think about how this can help your company, even if it's not what you own.
Thank you for saying that, man. Thank you for
make
saying
your job
that.
easier. Yeah.
And we just launched our affiliate program too. And the affiliate program works like this. It's really complicated. Ready?
Well, let's make a banner on how they can join that affiliate program. Can you make one of those?
Well, actually, I'm gonna the website is on there.
Oh, right here.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So go there to join the affiliate program.
And you can connect right with me. Like click on my face, or on Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever we are.
On my face. That's
yeah.
It. Just click all on my face.
That, And so our affiliate program is really, really complicated. All right. It's real complicated. All right. This is how it goes. You share a link with somebody that you know.
That's it.
That's it.
Send it to an email to your boss, coworker.
You share the information. And what happens is you share the information and then connect them with us. We get on the call with them. Essentially, it's 99.999% guaranteed things are it's going to resonate with whoever that you want to hear this information, because this is not a sell. Like we're not out here like selling vacuum cleaners, back in the days, door to door.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let me throw some mud on your carpet and show you how this works. No, here's the deal. You need to have this thing or you won't be in business. This is the real facts of matter. Do your research, because that's the truth. So look that up, then get back to me. Okay, you back? Okay. Now that you know you're not going to be in business, now let's talk about how easy this is to actually implement. Let's talk about even more. Let's talk about that you can actually fill out this information and get this ROI calculator. Essentially, you put your information in, and then you can see what you're going to be gaining year 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So it becomes not even a no-brainer. It's easy, but it's getting to that point. So affiliates, yes. If you have somebody, if you're a business consultant, you are prime. Like we have like a meeting this Friday for our first time for all of our affiliates, and it's the greatest feeling, man, because these are people who are already working with organizations to help them, and now they have this tool that's going to just change the game for them. So come on by. It's a great way to learn something new and be in an industry that's going to be around for a long time. This may be the stickiest service, Josh, that anybody, man. Because once you get it and it's working, you're not going to stop it from working. It's like you have a rock star employee that don't want you to pay him. I'm like, what? What are you saying? Yeah, you're not gonna get rid of this
money. Put it back in the business.
That's right.
Easy win. That's an easy win.
What you gonna do?
Easy win.
So
we got like about 10 minutes left. Folks, we appreciate you guys watching us. Let's so if you need to get any more information, Scale Through Automation. This thing will change your business, change your neighbor's business, your best friend's business. And when you bring this to somebody, they're gonna be really grateful. It might be a steak dinner in it or even more. So make sure you share that out. Join the affiliate program.
More than a steak dinner, you get a percentage. Our affiliates get a percentage, and it's for a very long time.
Yeah, no. So you get a stipend from STA, but your neighbor might take you out.
For true that
for helping him change his business. Maybe around the golf. But make sure you guys share that out and check it out. Go back to their website and look at it for more information. You can also email us if you have any questions about the show. mindsetreadygrow@gmail.com. Yep. Follow us on our social channels, Twitter, and if you guys want to support us, go to Patreon. You can support the channel. We don't have it on there now, but we're going to be releasing some t-shirts and things. See, we have this hashtag A Billion Healthy. You can get shirts like that. Hashtag Mindset Ready Grow. We got a lot of different things coming on down the pipeline, but check us out on Patreon if you want to support us. Follow us, and we're going to be, as we're building our catalog of what we're talking about here, and our shows are going out. We want to start to build a catalog of information on our social channels that keep you informed on what we talked about last week and the week before. We don't want to just come in with a one and done, dump on you and then leave. We want to keep giving you this so you can keep eating from that same well, or drinking from that same well, eating from that same table. And so, join our social media channels. There's not a lot going on right now because we're still building this out. But once we finally get everything together and we're down to habit to automatic, right? We're still creating the habit. We're still putting the processes into place so they can be automated, and they just going to function for us, for you, for people around the world. But I want to talk really quickly about how we can bring some habit to automatic in our personal lives. Let's talk about the guy that's trying to juggle it all. He has a business. He's got a wife and kids and families. And he's just saying, hey, how can I make this a better way? How can I do this better? And I think I'll just kind of throw out a thing and you kind of see if you agree. But I think that the first thing is just simply getting into that right mind state, right?
Yeah.
Getting into a place where you kind of just calm down, take note of what's happening today. You know, a racing mind may never see the finish line. If your mind's always going on what the things you got to do, you got a long list of things to do, and how can you do them so quickly, you almost never get to the finish line, because once you think you finished something else, there's 20 other things on your list. But if you kind of take a breath and prioritize, you know, hey, you don't gotta sweep the floor right now. Just give it a break. Take a moment to go outside with your kids and push them on the swing. That's gonna give you a greater return than a clean floor. So get into that right frame of mind. Don't let your mind race. Kind of calm down. What are some other things they could do, Rob, to get to a place where they can, the better, healthier habits that become automatic that help them to have a better life, so everything flows smoother, greater production, greater functionality?
Yeah, man. You know, you hit it on the head of racing mind. You know, that's true. And to couple that, man, the present is the gift. That's the quickest route to your well-being, is to get present. And it's to really understand the essence of this. What I've come to find in my later years in life, dude, is that so many of these things that are simple, they're right here in plain sight. Like some things that really help you understand, like, this is the truth. You know, the present is the gift. Look, take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The present is the gift. How do you open it? Live now. The reason why you're filled with anxiety, you're too far.
Yeah.
Worrying about the future and what might happen. Oh no, this might, that might. And the reason why depression comes in, because we're just too far in the past. Like, oh, this happened. That happened.
And that's why you have anxiety about the future. You're judging your future based on your past. But the truth of it is, living in the past has no future. You got to let go of your past so you can have a future. Don't worry about the future, though. You live in the today. You live in the present. Today is the gift. Observe it. Live in it. And tomorrow will be the future. It will come before you know it. It's going to be a gift as well, and enjoy that gift.
I'm telling you. And the way you open the gift is to live now. Let's simplify this. The present is the gift. The way you open it is to live now. Be present in this moment. So that guy who's stressed is because he's not present.
He's not present. He is, but he's listing out all the things that have to be done, not what's being done at this moment.
What's being done.
What's going on. Yeah.
And a great way to get present is to get grateful. You know, your gratitude determines very often your attitude, which ultimately will determine your altitude. You know, gratitude, attitude, altitude. And so if you're grateful, you can fly higher above all that nonsense. You can see it. But when you're not grateful, this and that, you're all in the muck. And it's like you're just a part of you got to get grateful. Start thinking about what you're grateful for.
Yeah, there's no burden in gratitude. Gratitude never comes with a burden. Gratitude comes with, you being alleviated. You're being set free. You're being released from the pressures of whatever that might have been. So there's no burden in gratitude. If you shift your mind state from, oh, what was me, these burdens, to, you know what, I don't have any burdens, man. I got this, I got that. Just really quickly, a story. I remember I had some things happen in my life, and I had to go live in this little small apartment, and everything, just kind of was like, wasn't what I was used to. And, first I was kind of like, this sucks, what happened and everything. And then I really thought about, what, man, there's people that don't have a home at all. They don't have anything. There's people who are living in mud huts trying to make $2 a day and trying to kill a rabbit and have that for dinner. Like, my life is not that. I went to Domino's, got a pizza. I'm sitting on the couch watching the sunset over my little lake. Even though I was in the apartment, I had a little pond lake thing with the fountain, it was still nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have a palace compared to a lot of folks in the world. I had to shift my mind state, had to change that to a place of gratitude. And then it was no longer a burden. It was like, I'm thankful for this. Thank you, God. I got something. It's mine. And, so shift your attitude, right? So he said gratitude, attitude. And then what's the last one?
Altitude. Your gratitude will determine your attitude, which determines your altitude. And your altitude, again, is the height from which you stand and where you live life and where you can see things. And you want to have that higher view. You want to have the higher vibration. Everything's from a higher state of mind. You know what I mean? Higher consciousness. It's all about being higher. what did Michelle Obama say? When they go low, we go high. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the way you got to be, though. And so think of life like that. Think about how you can become grateful.
Yeah.
And because if you do that, things get better. One of the things in psychotherapy and therapy and a variety of different psychological therapies is getting people to just keep saying something over and over and over and over again, and that changes, just changing the focal point, just changing it, and that changes how they feel. It's changing what they're looking at, but it's the practice of just changing what you're visualizing, what you're focusing on, what you're creating in your mind. It's the practicing of the repetition of. That's the therapy, the practice of the repetition of the right thinking. So you got to practice the repetition of the right thinking. Practice the repetition of the right thinking. Practice the repetition of the right thinking. And you just keep telling yourself that, and then you'll catch yourself when you're doing stinking thinking. You'll catch yourself when the biggest enemy you can see is the inner me. You start to notice those. You start to notice that stuff. So
those are some healthy habits to just kind of start to develop, and over a process of time, they'll become automatic. And we know that once you automate, then you start to elevate, you start to evolve, you start to go into a place where you have higher productivity, higher functionality. Who doesn't want to have better functionality in their marriage, or better functionality, higher performance out of their relationship with their children? I sit around and talk to my kids. I have kids at different stages of life, different ages, and I can't, their problems sometimes are the same. It's something that they're dealing with inside their own mind, a challenge where they're afraid, whether it's my small child afraid of the dark or my older child, afraid of somebody bullying them at school, and they got to get in, maybe have a confrontation with the person, right? It's still something that they're afraid of because of what their mind says that thing is. So finding a way to have that conversation with them at different levels, different stages in their life, that could be challenging, right? I want to have better productivity out of that conversation. I want to have better management of that. So what happens is what? Well, I've been a father for 20 years. I've done this. It's automatic now. I know how to address these things because of the repetition of coming through this same process. So, we know what we talk about with fear and things like that. And so we deal with that. But the point I'm trying to make is just having that experience through the habit becoming a repetitious process becomes automatic, and you know exactly where to go to, where to get that from. Here's where that tool is. Here's where that resource is. So practice things because, the tools we're talking about now is really managing stress, managing the state of mind you're in, managing grief, managing burdens by adapting a habit of gratitude.
Yep.
Thankful for today, receiving the gift. If somebody gave you a car, you say, thank you so much. You have gratitude. You're like, this stinky old car, good son of a biscuit eater. I didn't ask for this. And no, you wouldn't do that. You say, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Gratitude. Now that opens you up to say, let me give to you. Let me, be affectionate and loving or whatever it might be. Live in the gift.
Yep.
Live in the present. Receive the gift. You should walk around with an attitude of gratitude where you're happy about the day to share that with other folks. The next move is, right? Find ways to clear your mind. What steps are you doing to clear your mind? Clear your mind from the clutter. Don't let all these things be a focus of you that you think that has to be done or they're so super important or, if it doesn't happen, something bad is going to happen. And remember that you can't worry about what the future is going to bring because everything you're planning the future to be is only based on your past. So you're really stuck in the past. Either place is not the present. So you're missing the gift.
Dang.
Living in the past has no future. So you got to let that go. Get into this moment and focus on what's most important, what's most beneficial, and develop these habits that we're talking here. Living in the moment, gift, obstacles, gratitude, attitude, altitude. Focus those habits. They'll become automatic. You'll be more productive. You'll be happier, more fulfilled. The people around you will be happier, more fulfilled. They'll be glad to be around you. You'll start to see things growing and growing and growing and growing. That's what this show is all about. Mindset, ready, grow. We're going to help you to get in that space where you can grow yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Make sure you guys check out RPA. More about that on STA site, scalethroughautomation.com. And if you guys want to become affiliates, you guys can become affiliates there. Share this out with folks. Get paid off of this thing, which is going to be, you get 10, 20 people in there. That's a little bit of monthly check coming in. I don't know how often they pay you, but yeah, that's good stuff. We want to remind you guys to go check us out, support us on social media, grab some t-shirts and some merch on our page, patreon.com. And Robin, let you close us out if you have any last things you want to say.
Mindset ready, bro. Get your mind right. Mindset.
Where's the video? Play the video. Where's that? Throw it up on the screen. There we go. That's the new song, the new theme song. All right, folks. Thank you guys for watching this. And we'll be back again. This is our new time slot, 1 o'clock. Midday Madness on Wednesdays. You're going to change your life up, change everything, flip it on its ear, get you through hump day, get you through to the end of the week with something that just kind of empower you, position you in a better place to win, to get your mind set, ready to grow. All right. Thanks for watching, folks.
Ready, grow. Get your mind right. Mindset ready, grow. Mindset ready, grow. Get your mind right. Mindset ready, grow. Mindset ready, grow. Get your mind right. Mindset ready, grow. Mindset ready.